Hey guys, so I'm doing a quick video here, just to show you what I'm doing at the moment. As you can see, my little camera here, recording. It's got the microphone on it. Now, I will explain why. So, you'd have to excuse me, I'm a bit of a mess. I've not slept properly in a couple of weeks, mostly due to my neighbour, and this is why I have the camera on my draining board recording, mostly to capture the noise he's making and the threats that he is shouting at me and John, and the abuse he is shouting. He still keeps threatening to kill us, still keeps calling us really derogatory names due to my disabilities. And it's just getting really bad, and literally literally almost 24 hours he was kicking off the other day, all night, shouting, screaming, banging, shouting threats at us. We're not sure why, because we didn't do anything to set him off. I mean, we're not noisy people, we don't constantly play loud music. You know, we don't really talk to our neighbours, we don't really get to know them. You know, we keep ourselves to ourselves. I mean, if we're passing them in the hallway and they say hi, we say hi back. You know, we're civil and polite, but we don't really get friendly with our neighbours. So, like, at the moment I've got that camera recording out there to see what sort of sounds it'll pick up, because I'm not sure that that microphone will work. It has a couple of different settings on it, so I'm just trying to test to see what sort of sound it will pick up. It's probably just picking me up talking right now, but we'll see what happens. And if it gears up again later and he starts kicking off, hopefully I will capture it all loud and clear, and then I can give it to the police that are dealing with the case and my housing officer. I'm still currently waiting to hear about the management move. I mean, we got a letter from them to say that they got our form that we filled in, and they've given us a home bid number, but we have to wait for an assessment. I don't know if you can hear that drilling. That is the council. They're in at the moment doing works on all the bathrooms in the tower block. Every time the drilling happens, usually he kicks off at me and John about it, thinking it's us, but it's not us. And he, to be honest, he clearly knows it's not us. He's just using it as an excuse to get aggressive towards us and abusive. So he has an excuse when the police turn up. He can just say, well, they were making loads of noise, they were drilling, that's why I did it. You know, and we've proven to the council and the police several times, many times, that it's not us making any of the noise. The loud tumble dryer, not us, that is upstairs above him. You know, drilling, not us, it's the council doing work. You know, so Yeah, and at the moment I'm just trying to prove hate crime, harassment and antisocial behaviour. And I'm trying to get the authorities to actually do their job. Which I have no problem with the authorities. Yes, I'm upset and I'm angry and I feel like I'm not being taken seriously. I feel like I'm being ignored. But I know that's not the fault of the people in the police force. That's not the fault of the housing officer herself. They are trying to do their job, but they have a lot of red tape and laws to follow, and recently, because laws have all changed and stuff like that, and policies have changed due to all the COVID chaos and Brexit chaos. You know, there's a lot of red tape and stuff that they've got to cut through to try and so they're able to do their job. So, like, I'm not angry with them as people. I know they are trying. I'm just upset at the whole situation. And obviously every day I'm being threatened. I'm being called horrible names by my neighbour. The other day, it had been quiet for weeks and we thought, okay, maybe he's got the message now and he's listened to police and he's decided to behave himself. You know, and we thought, yeah, it's great. And then the other day, we ordered a takeaway. When the delivery person got here and knocked the door, John answered the door and said and collected the food, you know, and said, oh, thanks very much to the delivery driver, and then closed the door. The neighbour immediately started screaming, shouting and banging and calling us names and shouting stuff about benefit bums and using the R word a lot. He uses the R word. It's a word I do not like. For those who, I don't even like to say it, but I will so people understand what word it is the word retard. He also uses the S word, which is spastic. He also uses the N word, which I'm not going to say that because I have no right to say that word, because I am not a black person, so I have no right at all to say that word.
But it rhymes with.
No, I have no right to say that word, and it's a disgusting word. It should never be used. The words retard and spastic as well, they are disgusting words and they should never be used. Even in a joking manner, I do not. No, you shouldn't. It's, you know. But, yeah, so he started kicking off, and it seemed like he heard us or saw us getting the takeaway and became very jealous of it, and then started shouting all that abuse and threatening to kill us over us collecting a takeaway from our front door. So it's beyond petty, you know, and I don't understand why. Well, I do understand why he's doing it. He has hate towards people that are disabled. He has jealousy towards us, quite obviously, because he believes we get more money than he does and more help and support from the authorities, from the government and the council, which, stupid. Yes, I get a little extra help and support from the government because I'm disabled. I need that extra help and support. It's not my fault that they will not give him extra help and support. That's not my job. That's not down to me. That's not my fault. But still, he's angry at me for it. You know, and I know that it's the jealousy thing because I have dealt with jealous neighbours before when I was younger, when I was a kid living at home with my mum and my siblings. We had neighbours that would get funny with us because they were jealous, because they believed we got extra help and support because my mum had disabled children. And they would get funny and whatnot, you know. And pardon me, I just wolfed down some ramen noodles a few minutes ago, so pardon me. But yeah, so I've dealt with that kind of jealousy from neighbours before, and due to some of the things he's been shouting, it is obvious that that's what the problem is. I've dealt with hate before because of my disabilities. People generally just don't like me because I'm disabled. Not all people, I must add that, not all people. Most people are actually really nice, you know, and don't have that problem with me. But I've come across quite a few people in my life that do hate me just because I'm disabled, and they're not afraid to show me that they hate me for that reason, you know. I've dealt with it a lot in my life. And it's just a fact of life. It's something we've got to deal with. Now, usually out in the street, if it's a random stranger out in the street and they shout something derogatory at me, I completely ignore it and walk away because they're a stranger. I'm probably never going to see them again. And then I forget about it and forget that it's happened. But living next door to it, when you have it day in, day out shouted at you, along with threats to kill you, threats to kick your front door in and break every bone in your body, you know, it becomes like torture. Excuse the council again, they're drilling. I believe they're upstairs somewhere, one of the upper flats, doing work. But yeah, it's had a big impact on our mental health, of mine and John's mental health. Mostly John's, I think, mental health wise. He's over there doing writing on his computer. Don't know if you wave, John, say hello. So yeah, it's had a big impact on his mental health, mostly, I think. I mean, it has had a small impact on mine, but with me it's more emotional and more physical. Because with me, my mental health manifests physically a lot of the time. But I'm good with dealing with my mental health. I'm good with managing it. I find it easy, well, not easy, but I have coping mechanisms to manage it. John, however, doesn't. John...
I do.
You do?
I have many coping mechanisms to deal with my mental health, thank you very much.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yes, many of them. The problem is...
Alcohol doesn't count.
No. Like...
I'm joking.
Like, I don't know really how to describe it. I've got all the tools in the bag. I know how to use the tools in the bag. It's just that...
You can't get the bag open.
Yeah. Like...
Yeah, I get what you mean, yeah.
I don't, like... Let's put it this way. When I'm not in a mental health crisis, the zip works. Zip, zip, no problem, there's the tools. Box opens, nothing, no problem.
When you're in a crisis?
But when you're in a crisis, it's like instead of undoing the latch, opening the box and taking the tools out, I pick it up and shake it.
Yeah.
And nothing comes out.
Yeah.
And then I throw that against the wall and it breaks.
Yeah, okay.
And then I have to pick up all those pieces and put them back in the box and then wonder why the box is dented.
Yeah. Okay, so I stand corrected.
Yeah. I'm just not good at using them in a crisis.
Yeah.
That's the
Whereas
simple
me,
explanation.
whereas me, I do good in a crisis. I do good under pressure. I work better under pressure because I'm like, we have this problem. Let's take a deep breath. Let's figure out options of how to fix this problem. You know, I can methodically think it out and solve it. And if I cannot solve it, then I try to find someone who can. But if I can't find someone who can, then that's when I start to get a bit, oh God, and start to crumble. But yeah, I think. But yeah, I have been having some issues with my mental health lately a little. I had hallucinations the other night, which was interesting.
Wasn't laughing at
But
hallucinations,
it's mainly because lack of sleep. Also, sometimes I think some of the medications I take, some of the side effects are hallucinations. So it could be a mixture of that and lack of sleep. Also, my eating's been off and I've not been hydrating enough, so you know, it's a mixture of everything. But yeah, I went to go to bed and I was laid in my bed trying to sleep, and one end of the room, the wall, kept lighting up, and I kept looking down the end of the bed at this wall and it was lighting up, and I was thinking, why is that wall lighting up? And I put my glasses on and I sat there watching it, and it was sort of going really bright, the whole wall, like as if the wall itself was one giant light. And it kept just slowly coming in brighter and then cutting out, but then cutting back on again, and then a mixture of slowly dimming, slowly getting brighter and then cutting out and stuff. And I was thinking, what is that about? So I got up, I looked out of the window thinking, okay, maybe there's a light outside somewhere that is shining through the window and causing this. Looked out the window, couldn't see anything, everything was pitch black out there, no lights at all. So I thought, okay. I looked around the rest of the room to see if there was any light sources in the room that could have been doing it. Nothing. And then I realised that there was no light anywhere else. No other wall was lighting up, just that one. And I was thinking, that is strange. And I stopped and I was watching Squeak, because if something is real going on in the flat, Squeak will react to it. But she wasn't reacting, she was just laid there on the floor, grooming herself as usual. And I was thinking, okay, she's not reacting to this light. If it were a real light, if it was actually there and not in my mind, she would react to it. So that got me a little bit worried, and I was like, okay. And then, so I got up, left the front room, left the bedroom, come sat in the front room because I couldn't sleep because of this weird light. And I sat here watching, you know, streaming services. And then I could hear strange noises coming from my kitchen. And at first I thought, okay, is Squeak out there messing around? I had a look, Squeak's not out there. Squeak was still in the bedroom, grooming herself. So I thought, okay, what is that? And I thought, maybe it's the neighbour making noise. But as I stood at the door to the kitchen, I heard the noise again, and it was the cutlery rattling. And I kind of got really freaked out. I was like, what the hell? So I closed the kitchen door, sat down to watch more streaming stuff. And most of the night I could hear cups moving, cutlery moving, plates moving, as if someone's in the kitchen making themselves some dinner and a cup of tea, you know, and it was very strange. So either I have a ghost or it was audible hallucinations and visual hallucinations. So yeah, that was fun. But a couple of weeks ago I had a visual hallucination. Me and John were going to bed, and I was talking to John, looking at him. As I looked at his face, sparks of electricity, blue electric, like lightning, come out of his face.
I'd like to say
It
I
was
have
really
not developed any
strange.
superpowers that I'm aware of.
Yeah, so some of these new meds might be causing a bit of that, along with the lack of sleep and everything. So
Can I also state that a lot of people might say it could be a car passing by or the neighbour's lights and stuff. Okay, that might be true, but here's the thing. I myself have witnessed, I wouldn't say strange lights, but like, the bedroom's quite dark, even on the lightest of days. And at night time, it's almost pitch black in there for me.
mm-hmm.
And I've been laid on the bed without my glasses on, and I've seen little flashes of light over by things, like sparks, sometimes blue, sometimes orange. And I wouldn't call them orbs, they're not floating around the room in weird whooshy things, they're just going like poop, poop. And the other day, I saw a blinking light out the corner of my eye. It was like blink, 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 blink. I was looking around the room to see if anything was flashing in the room. There wasn't. And it kept blinking in the corner of my eye. And I looked over there and it just disappeared. But all that was there is clothing. So nothing could have been.
Yeah.
I was probably hallucinating due to tiredness, but like.
See, it's strange that because me
So
and John.
I don't think it's your meds.
When I was talking to John about these hallucinations, he told me, yeah, I've had the same ones. So this is where I'm thinking, well, that's strange. It's very rare
I don't take her meds.
to have joint hallucinations,
Usually
to
they'll
have
be at the same
similar
time if they were
hallucinations like that. So, like, I mean, but we've had them at separate times. It wasn't at the same time we were having them. So I'm thinking it might be something environmental. So maybe the black mold. I don't know. Can black mold cause hallucinations? I don't know. I know gas can. If you breathe in a lot of gas, I think.
And I said the other day.
But I don't think there is gas in this building, is
No,
there?
but I did say the other day recently that I could smell gas. Not like cooker gas, but like lighter gas, lighter fluid.
Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, it's just really strange, you know. It could be just we're both having a mental break completely and not realising it, you know. I don't know. It's just
I'm realising I'm in a mental break. I've been speaking to my therapist, and I'm like, a few of the things you've said have sort of like clicked the puzzle pieces back in place.
yeah,
But not like, I was aware I had a jigsaw, but I was pretty sure all the pieces were from different pictures.
yeah.
But it turns out it's one picture, but I'm seeing it differently.
But yeah, so that's what's happening at the moment, and I am a mess. Self-care has gone completely out the window the past couple of weeks, so I'm a total mess. That is probably down to the fact that I feel unwell all the time because I'm not getting enough sleep, I'm not eating correctly, I'm not drinking enough fluids, and I'm trying to protect my heart health because I am in early stages of heart failure now. So I know eventually that's going to get progressively worse, but I want to keep it, I want it to be a slow, progressively worse. I don't want to be in hospital in the next few days having surgery, you know. So at the moment they're just doing preventive measures with all the new meds and everything to try and keep it under control. But stress is not good for it. And living next door to that evil person, I'm sorry, I usually wouldn't say someone's evil, but this one, yeah, it's very stressful, and yeah, I've been trying not to get stressed about it. But yeah, but I definitely need to sort my hair out. Hopefully John's going to help me today cut my hair, because I need to shave the undercut. I also need to sort out some dye on this, because look at the roots, they're really dark and my purple is fading. But yeah, so hopefully John can help me sometime today cut this mess, and then hopefully I can get some more dye and sort the colour out. But yeah, it's gone all poofy. It's got a life of its own now. It's like a jungle. You'll probably find a couple of spider monkeys swinging around in there when you cut it, John.
It's not that bad.
Maybe a python or something jump out at you. I don't know.
Well, in that case, you can cut your own hair. I'm not messing with dangerous animals.
But you're gonna cut my hair.
Not if there's pythons and spider monkeys in there, no.
You said you're not gonna mess with dangerous animals.
So you admit you're a dangerous animal? you guys heard it. You heard it here first. She's a dangerous animal. Said it herself.
But yeah, so I'm gonna try and get the self-care routine back on track and try and get some proper sleep. Even taking sleeping pills that ain't working, you know. Sleeping meds not been doing bugger all. All they did was make me a little drowsy.
I'm very
but
irritable.
I'm not irritable.
I know, I'm joking.
He says in an irritable manner.
Irritable? I'm not whingy.
But yeah, so try and get that sorted, and I will let you know what happens about this videoing of the noise and harassment and stuff, and let you know what happens there with that. Yeah, I think that is it.
I just want to say though, if people don't like my dark humour here, I apologise. At the moment, my lightest part of my humour is very dark because of where my mental state is at.
Your chair is in the way.
This is like, I don't want to promote this, and I'm not. Just going to clarify, I'm not promoting it. I don't agree with it, but somebody spelled the N-A-Z word, you know that word wrong online, and my reaction wasn't, oh look, there's a spelling mistake, but it was like a swear word that sounds very similar to a place of great significance during World War II for the Axis, which, if mentioned, is considered one of the worst things to say. I'm not going to say it, but if you know, it starts with an A. We'll leave it at that.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, because
Right, it's meant to be cryptic because I'm not
it's
promoting
gone
anything.
over my head. It's very cryptic, so cryptic that I don't understand it.
Right. Those that aren't dyslexic will have heard of what the Axis called themselves during World War II. And somebody put an S instead of Z.
I don't know what axis is. I don't know much about history, to be
Those
honest.
that do will get that. I don't condone it, but I saw the spelling mistake and my mind went straight to a really dark place rather than, oh, it's an insignificant spelling mistake.
Okay.
I'll tell you
Confuse
after the
me.
camera's off because I don't want to get your channel banned.
Okay. Well, I've already used 2 bad words today in
I know the bad
explaining.
words that you use are expressive, so one I'm going to use is
Yeah, don't say
terminal.
it then. Don't. If
It's
it's
terminal. I'm not going to say it.
if it's a horrible word, don't say it. It doesn't need to.
Yeah, that's
be let
why I
out
said I
into
don't
the
condone
world.
it. I'm just saying I saw this mistake and I'll tell you afterwards it'll make sense to you. No, if it makes sense to other people,
'Cause
then they're as dark as me.
I'm going to
That's what I'm
say,
saying.
if you think of voice as energy, because when you speak, it creates energy. You
Yeah.
need energy to
Put it out
create
until
that
it comes back
noise,
to you.
right? So when you speak, that energy is going to go out into the
Transfers.
world. So if you're saying horrible, nasty things, that is some horrible, nasty energy you're putting into the
Yeah, I
world.
don't mean it in a malicious
You know?
way though.
Yeah, so
But it's the fact that the mind goes
I'm just
there.
going to
That's why I
say,
didn't say it.
if you don't want to add more negative energy to the world, then don't say negative things. Don't say nasty things. Don't use words like the R word, the S word, the N word. Don't use any of those kinds of words. We need to stop putting that energy out into the world, you know? 'Cause there's enough bad energy. But yeah, I'm going to shut up now and go away. But yeah, thanks for watching. I will keep you updated on what's going on. I just thought I'd do this quick little blog or vlog. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you all later. Bye bye.